returns to this week's MLF Week in Review. Our show will include last week's results, highlights from the game of the week, and our very own power ranking. So sit back and enjoy, and let the texting begin. Here are last week's results as posted on the MLF website.
Every day, over 15 million kids are left alone after school. No one to teach them or guide them.
But for millions of kids, the opportunity to be great is just one door away. Fox Sports has partnered with Boys and Girls Clubs of America to help open doors to education and opportunity while preparing kids to have a great future.
The club helped change my life. Now help me change someone else's.
Donate to Boys and Girls Clubs today. Greatfutures.org/Fox Sports.
Hello everybody, I'm Tom Wilkins for MLF Action as we bring you highlights of a phenomenal game which took place this past Friday night between the defending MLF champion New York Predators and the Brooklyn Mariners, who pretty much everyone East Coast knows in the semi-pro football world. The game took place at Kings Bay, Brooklyn, New York. As we begin the highlights, here's Joe Stagliano in at quarterback on the very first series, throwing a very nice pass to Brian Argalagos for 26 yards. We're going to be talking more about Brian as the highlights go on. Now here's running back Mike Thompson, who gets to a couple great holes and is able to scamper inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line for a 26-yard run. Thompson had 73 yards rushing on 14 carries, and here was his shining moment a couple of plays later as Thompson received the ball, got through a little hole that was all he needed to get into the end zone for the opening points. Brooklyn missed the extra point, and the Mariners had a 6-0 lead. But not before the New York Predators showed up with Casey Nunez, who throws to a wide-open Kareem Moon for 34 yards. Of course, Moon the hero 2 weeks ago in the game against the New Jersey Wolves. Just a couple of plays later, Nunez calls his own number and scampers in from 7 yards out. The conversion was failed as Shamik Champagne failed on the run, and the game was level at 6 apiece. Here's one of 4 Predators sacks during the game. Bobby Skinner comes out of nowhere to sack the main Brooklyn quarterback, Jarrell Wilson, for a 13-yard loss. That eventually leads to good field position for the Predators, as here's an option to Daquan Williams, and when you leave him alone in the backfield, forget it. 50 yards down the near sideline for a touchdown, add the extra point, and at quarter time, the Predators had a 13-6 lead. Now, as we go into the second quarter, the Brooklyn Mariners had a sack on their own, but it was the only sack of the game, shared by Sean McGlynn and Michael Potter, who completely stifled Nunez on this play, and Nunez ended up losing 16 yards on the play. It set up a Predator punt, which was returned beautifully by Andre Ray, and set the Mariners up in great position. As here is Wilson finding, guess who? Brian Argalagos in the back of the end zone for the first of his 2 touchdown catches, add the extra point, and the Predators and Mariners were level at 13 apiece. But then, of course, the Predators had a big play by another good defenseman, and that turned out to be Jamal Payne, who sacked Wilson for an 8-yard loss. Now on 3rd and 23, Wilson is back. He escapes one tackle, runs to the far sideline, and then bombs away to a wide-open Joe Stagliano, who can run to Flatbush and points beyond after that. An 84-yard touchdown strike. Brooklyn gets the lead back at 20-13. But not for long, as Nunez on the ensuing drive finds Kareem Moon in for a 10-yard touchdown strike, which she slam dunks, but the extra point was blocked by Sean McGlynn, and Brooklyn held on to a 1-point lead at 20-19. Now in this play, here is Wilson again finding Argelagos on a 13-yard strike. He gets a step out of bounds, and on the final play of the first half, here's Brooklyn kicker Vinny Cercioni, who tries from 27 yards out and kicks it straight through the uprights. The halftime score, the Brooklyn Mariners had a 23-19 on the New York Predators. But of course, 2 weeks ago, the Predators woke up to begin the second half against the Wolves and came out storming. Well, what will they do here? On the opening drive of the second half, just give it to Daquan Williams. He will do the rest. And he did. He ran over the Verrazano Bridge and all the way into Jersey with that one. A 55-yard touchdown run. He even ran into two-point conversion, and the Predators took a 27-23 lead. The momentum continued for the Predators as you'll see Chris DeLuca sacking Wilson for a 10-yard loss. But on 3rd and 21, here's Wilson finding, guess who? Brian Argelagos for 25 yards, keeping the Brooklyn drive alive and making it a first down. Now, Sergioni tried a 38-yard field goal, but it was blocked by Sean Brown, who was able to have a huge game on defense, and the Predators held on to their 27-23 lead over the Mariners at three-quarter time. Then comes the fourth quarter. Wallach ends up punting for the Predators, and here's Andre Ray, who had an earlier great punt return the first half, tries to make something out of nothing and gets more than nothing. A 10-yard loss thanks to Sean Brown. But then watch this. 3rd and 33, Jarrell Wilson looks like he's going to be sacked. He fakes a pass, then finds room to run. Gets a couple of blocks, a couple missed tackles. And what do you know? You just made Freddie Mitchell and Ray Rice jealous with a 51-yard run on 3rd and 33. The third time Brooklyn converted 3rd and 20 or more in this game. And on the next play, Wilson says, I'm not done yet. How about a 16-yard run to the far sideline? 67 yards on 2 plays, 85 total rushing yards on the game. And then Brian Argelagos, he does it again. A 17-yard touchdown catch, and he becomes a Brooklyn Greek god, bringing Brooklyn to a 30-27 lead. But then Casey Nunez of the Predators comes back, a big 15-yard run on his end, and that sets up Jeff Wallach, who decides to go 30-30 vision with a 30-yard field goal. And why not? He was able to put it right through, and this game was level at 30 apiece. But then came the ensuing kickoff. Here is a catch by Andre Ray, who had a very difficult fourth quarter, and he wanted a big kickoff return on the ensuing kickoff, but he fumbles the football, and guess who's there to recover? Sean Brown of the Predators. But the Predators try to take advantage one play in, but guess what? It's Joe Stagliano intercepting the pass, and the score remains at 30. But Brooklyn went 3 and out. The Predators set up and tried a 47-yard field goal with 30 seconds left. Wallach took the snap and booted it straight on through. It could have been good for 55 yards. And the Predators took a 33-30 lead. But Brooklyn had one more shot thanks to several defensive penalties by the Predators. And that set up a big 51-yard field goal by Cercioni to tie the game up. He took the snap, but the kick was short and wide to the right, and the New York Predators survived another scare to improve to 6-0 on the year, defeating the Brooklyn Mariners by a score of 33-30. The Mariners fell to 3-1 on the season, incidentally. And as we take a look now at the final game statistics, they of course are provided by Howard Gaber of HSG Productions.
Watching Bellator live at Dave & Buster's is incredible. The excitement, the roar of the crowd.
I know. It's like I'm at the fight. It's like I'm right next to Michael Chandler.
You are next to Michael Chandler.
Like he's talking directly to me.
I am talking to you. I'm sitting right here.
Like he's sitting right here.
How is this happening? Ooh.
Every Friday, catch Bellator MMA viewing parties only at Dave & Buster's.
Anybody ever tell you look a tiny bit like Michael Chandler?
And now for the first unofficial power rankings. Number 14 is the Black Devils. They may be still winless, but there is hope that the boys in Palisade Park can get it together before the season ends. At number 13 is the New Jersey Longhorns. Also winless, people may remember that this was the team that went to the MLF final just 2 short years ago. Number 12 is the Westchester Warriors. After 6 games, they have only tasted victory once. This organization will work it out, as we all have faith. At number 11 is the Westchester Steelers, another team that needs to find an identity, as they will be playing a much tougher schedule coming up. Number 10 is the Central Jersey Vikings. If you haven't been to South Plainfield to watch this team play, then you really are missing something. Grass fields and the smell of the snack shack make it one of our favorite sites to visit. At number 9 is the Trenton Capitals. As with all first-year teams, there are many challenges on and off the field, but this one looks solid. This team has a chance to move up this week if they prove with a win. Number 8 is the Brass City Kings. A true test is this week's rematch with the Mariners. Another team that is fairly new in name only. Do not take this team lightly. At number 7 is the New Haven Venom. We here understand the great tragedy that has befallen this team, and with the outstanding leadership they have, things will continue to improve and heal. Number 6 is the Somerset Bears. Having played several tough games this season, it is hard to figure out as to which one will show up. Consistency, however, is what separates many teams in the semi-pro football world. Number 5 is the Lehigh Valley Steelers. With the most technological advanced team in the league, it only took them 1 game to fix the wrongs, and now they are a force trending up in the rankings. At number 4 is the New Jersey Wolves. Never count this team out. They just lay there and wait until you think they are finished, and that is the time they pounce on you. They have another tussle this week that could prove this point. At number 3 is the Brooklyn Mariners. A tough loss to the Predators will only strengthen this team, as they cannot look back on what should have been. The future is bright, as in Friday Night Lights, which again will be streamed from Kings Bay live this week. Number 2 is the New Jersey Spartans. With such an outstanding defense, several upper-level coaches from college and the pro ranks have been spotted at their games, trying to see what Coach Moss is mixing up to produce all these shutouts. Let's hope they do not get snake bit this week. And finally, at number 1 is the New York Predators. This team has everything from ownership to the coaches to the players. They have one of the fastest defenses in the entire borough, and an offense that can either run or pass at will. Oh, and did I forget to mention the kicking game? It is going to take a perfect effort from someone to beat this team, so everyone get ready to step up. Well, that's our show this week. We will try to do this weekly as time allows, so look out for it in the Facebook group lounge and on the website. Good luck to everyone, and have a safe week of football.